I feel like being a man in society is the hardest thing someone can ever do. Being a man sucks because you always have to be responsible and you always have to stay strong. As a man, we're taught that we can't show any emotions, we can't have any feelings, we can't be weak. Men are also taught to not show any type of stress, any type of depression. We're always taught to, stay strong and not to hide, not to show anything. Meanwhile, women are allowed to feel however they want to feel. But meanwhile, as a man, we're taught at a young age to be a man, to man up, to not show any emotions, to not show any weakness. And it sucks, man. It sucks being a man in society because nobody really cares about us, man. No one cares about our mental health. Nobody cares about our well-being, and I always tell myself, sometimes I wish I wasn't a man because being a man is the worst thing ever. Like, sometimes I tell myself, I wish I was a woman. Being a man is literally so unfair. If you're a man in this world, you don't get treated with respect. Men also get treated worse than women. Women get treated bad as well too, but I'm talking about men specifically. Men always get treated really, really bad in society, and I feel like it's not fair when they make it about a gender. I don't like how society has to make everything about gender. I feel like society should make men and women equal. Like, why do they have to make everything separate? I don't like that. But anyways, men's mental health is not cared about enough in society. No one really checks up on us. No one really asks us, how we're doing. Are you okay? How you feeling? If you're a man, no one really asks you these type of stuff. And it's something that I've always wanted to talk about because I feel like being a man in this world sucks. And it sucks because most men in this world can relate to what I'm saying. Also, men also struggle with loneliness a lot. Men also tend to have more suicidal thoughts than women, which is why there's more men who commit suicide than women. So, it's sad, man. It's sad. Because in society, men are taught, like I said, men are taught not to be weak. Men are taught to not show emotions. Men are taught not to be vulnerable. And, that's just the way it is. You feel me? Like, I just never understood why men feelings are not mattered in society. And I feel like people should talk about this more because men also are most likely the ones to commit suicide, and the male loneliness and struggle is real in today's world. Men are struggling with addictions, men are struggling with loneliness, men are struggling with depression, and no one talks about this, especially men in their early 20s to the late 30s, and I feel like this is not talked about enough. Men are seen as that, like, they don't matter in society. Men are also seen as like they're not important in society. No one really cares about you if you're a man. And I'm just so sick and tired of people not talking about these kind of things. Because I don't like when people make everything about gender. Like, why can't just people treat everybody with respect? Why can't people just learn common courtesy? Why can't people just learn how to be kind to each other? I feel like no one knows how to be kind to each other nowadays. And it's just not fair, man. It's just not fair being a man in this society. And I know a lot of men can relate to what I'm saying. Being a man just sucks, bro. Like, and I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, being a man is literally like the hardest thing someone can ever do. Like, you're taught to be strong. You're taught to stay. You're taught to be vulnerable. You're taught to, like, not show any emotion. You're taught to not show any weakness. You're taught to not show any vulnerability. Like, you have to be strong as a man. And sometimes I have moments where I have mental breakdowns, where I show vulnerability, and it's like, I'm human at the end of the day. I'm not gonna always stay strong. It's impossible for me to stay strong because I've been through hell and back. I've been through shit that most people can't go through, and I still managed to still be here. And I've been through so much in my life you guys don't even understand. Like, I went through hell and back, and I'm only 23 years old. I just turned 23, and I'm very young. I know I have a lot of years ahead of me in life, but you know, the male thing sucks. The male loneliness, the male mental health issues, the the male suffering in silence. Men have to suffer in silence, like with their depression, with their thoughts. Um, and it sucks, man. It sucks being a man in society. It sucks being a man. And no one really talks about this a lot because it literally irritates me. It literally pisses me off because it's like, why can't people just understand that we're human and we all have feelings? Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're non-binary, whether you're transgender, whether you're gay, like, I feel like everyone should be treated with respect. It doesn't matter what gender you are. And it sucks because nobody talks about these kind of things. Like, the male shit is literally sad, man. Like, nobody really cares about you if you're a man, and it's just the honest truth. Like, people just don't really care about you if you're a man and you're going through your own shit and you're going through your own problems, your mental health problems. No one really checks up on you. And you know, I'm just so sick and tired of, you know, holding everything in every single day of my life. Every single day of my life, I'm struggling with my mental health. I'm struggling emotionally, physically, and I have to hold it all in like everything's fine when I'm literally not okay. I'm literally not okay. Like I told you guys in my last video, I'm literally not okay. Like, I'm not mentally okay. Like, I really need people to actually hear me out and understand me and know where I'm coming from, instead of, you know, ignoring me or thinking I want attention, this and that. Like, people got to understand that I'm a human at the end of the day, and I really need people to understand where I'm coming from and the things I'm saying. Because, you know, like, I feel like a lot of people in this world don't have the courage to pick up a camera and vent and talk about their problems, their mental health, their struggles, things like that. And I just wanted to talk about that today because that's just been on my mind a lot. You know, I feel like being a man in society sucks. No one really checks up on you. No one really cares about you. Which is why, like I said earlier, which is why a lot of men commit suicide and why a lot of men end their life. And women too, women commit suicide, but I'm just specifically talking about men in this video because men go through more than women. And men have to struggle mentally with their mental health. And I literally forgot today was mental health day. So shout out to all the men who are going through a lot. You know, men like me who struggle with their mental health, who suffer in silence, you know, who have to hold everything in and hide their emotions. I hear you, I see you, and you know, everything's gonna be okay. Keep your head up, bro. We'll be fine. We'll get this together. We'll get through this together. I don't know what I'm saying, but we'll get through this together, and we'll be okay at the end of the day. And yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. You know, I just been on an emotional roller coaster these last couple of weeks with my mental health, and I really, like I said, like in the beginning of the video, I apologize for not being consistent with these uploads. And I'm gonna start to be more consistent from now on. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate all the people who always watch me, who always like my videos, who always comment down sweet comments and give me these supportive, uplifting comments. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support. I love you guys, and hopefully I see you guys in the next one.